From Studio A at 1 Biloxi Square in beautiful Lake Worth, Texas. Yep. Welcome in, everybody, to the Grandpa-N-Pappy Show.
Right on.
It is good to have you along with us as we make another day. Been a lot of things going on. We had a very interesting topic that we're going to be getting to here in just a few minutes, and that is the rioting going on in America right now. Yeah. And it's one of those things that...
It just is.
I mean, it has brought out all kinds of opinions, and we'll talk about that here.
And I will try to curfew mine. So
yeah, well, just...
curtail, rather, is a proper
just
word.
Uncork it and let it go, Pappy. That's what I can say. This is a program...
On the beep button.
A program that is... dedicated to opinions, and we got quite a few. Yeah, it is something that all of us we're just shaking our heads over, because I think, just my opinion, that maybe 95% of America agree on what they're protesting about, and bringing those officers to justice.
Yeah.
For George Floyd. Yeah. But then I think 99.9% of Americans are pissed off because you got the people coming in and tearing things up, burning and looting.
Those are not the peaceful protesters. I mean, You've got people of all color, genders, and all that that's coming in. I mean, and I'm down with protest. I've been involved with that. You know what got me stopped from protesting? Kent State.
Yeah.
Yeah, am I telling on myself yet?
4 dead in Ohio.
Yeah, for no reason.
4 dead in Ohio.
That's what happened when you bring the National Guard in. They're about as experienced as I am in handling a big crowd. But, I just...
There you go.
I mean, and I respect peaceful demonstrations, protesting. I don't respect one bad apple making, flexing his badge or whatever, you want to call it, but...
Well, Pappy, you know as well as I do, be it police officers, be it government officials, be it people of importance, you're going to have some every once in a while that, let's just say, they're not going to do right.
Well, I mean, you're talking, 21 million peace officers in America.
Yeah.
If 4 or 12 of them go bad, that's still that percentage is a hell of a lot lower than the COVID-19 percentages,
Well, I don't think
we won't go there, but it's a different show completely. But I mean, really, and you don't know what's stacked up that created that. Might be a ex-military man with PTSD. Might be somebody that's on the rag. I mean, what the hell? You don't know. You don't know. So it happened.
It did happen.
I don't think that's the only reason that Mr. Floyd passed. I really don't. I mean, and I could be so bold as to say, which I won't, that. He called it in upon himself. I mean, they had to call the cops on him. They showed up and dealt with it.
Well, it all stemmed over a $20 counterfeit bill.
Well, yeah. I mean, nobody deserves to die over that. But, I mean, what all is behind this? I mean...
well, we don't know. We don't know, and it's still being investigated.
It sucks. All of it sucks.
It
God
does.
Rest his soul and all
I will say all the officers that were involved in that melee... I hope they're brought to justice, and I hope they serve quite a few years in jail, because they did not do right, in my opinion, watching that video.
I know the dumbass that had his knee on his throat, he's already, had they charged him with like 3rd-degree murder?
I believe so, yeah.
That'll be enough to...
put him away for a while, but they're still considering...
a case of Epsteinitis, he'll... commit suicide,
or Clintonitis.
That's what I'm saying. You said that, not me, buddy.
Yeah, well, I did, didn't I?
And as my amigo says, see what I got to put up with?
Yeah. No, I know. But they are still considering charges on the other officers for standing around and not assisting.
And watching.
Yeah.
I mean, this is
and I hope they are disciplined too. Now, I'm right there with every color of American, be it red and yellow, black and white. I think they need to face justice on that, but that does not mean that every police officer in our country is bad, so quit shooting at them.
And as far as the you-know-what word, I guess we're allowed to say the N-word. I was raised to believe that comes in all colors.
That's the way I was. I was
more white N-word people than I do black, brown, green, or chartreuse with gray spots. I mean, trash is trash. It don't matter what your skin color is. I mean, and as my amigo said, we were raised the same way. There is no color. I mean, because once you drop like you said, this story really impacted me.
Mm-hmm.
You take a drop of blood here, a drop of blood there, and a drop of blood there, and a drop of blood there from all different cultures and colors and all that. It's still red.
Still red. You can't tell the difference.
That's right.
That's what Daddy told me.
Absolutely, brother. That's
a lesson I never forgot.
That's showing enough powerful stuff right there.
Yeah.
Bro. So, but anyway,
we Pappy, we got a lot of viewer comments. Some of them I did clean up a little bit because I did think they took it a little bit too far, but others I just left as is. Yeah. So I will warn you up front, if you're very sensitive on the ears, there may be some content from our viewers that have sent in that could be sensitive.
We had the disclaimer up front, so
yes,
our butt's covered. So if you
I just want to give them a little
dirty language. I mean, whatever. We won't go too far with that. We know how to clean stuff up.
A little heads up there for you, though. Let's get to them. Susan Saunders said, if you want to protest, fine, protest.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a major difference between protesting and destroying property.
Yeah.
If you're destroying, if I can say it, property, you just need to be arrested and treated like the criminal you are. What happened to the protests from back in the day? I mean, make your signs, say your chants, and march down a road with purpose. Destroying property and being a thug just makes you an idiot. Just my opinion, of course.
And you know what? I couldn't agree more with that. I mean, you want to protest.
That's kind of like what you were saying a while ago. Well, yeah. Protesting. I got no problems with that.
I'm down with a peaceful protest. You want to protest? I don't give a damn what you do. March down the street times 10,000. I don't care.
Yeah.
But when you start looting and rioting and destroying other people's properties, or you start threatening to come into rural areas like our home or the studio, guess what? Guess what you're going to walk into when you come through my door, just like the sheriff out in Florida was talking about. I'll blow your ass right back out that door if you come in there screwing me and Helen.
It's like at Facebook, the Facebook posting, you come out to the rural areas, you realize hogs can eat a human being real quick.
And country boys, they sit up in trees all day waiting to shoot.
Oh, yeah.
You know? So
I got the greatest, and I was going to show you this prior to the show. I'm going to show it to you now. And I know you folks can't see it, but I wanted Pappy's opinion on it because he knows my friend Joel Hardy used to be the Hoss and Hardy gang, and he sent me an email last night. He calls it getting my looter stand all set up. I scattered some small electronics and a flat screen by the end of the driveway to bait him in.
Bait him in, that's right. I want to shoot some.
And he's got a deer stand.
Patience my ass, I want to shoot something.
I just thought that was the funniest damn thing, but that goes along with what you just said, though.
I mean, and as everybody, or most of my friends know, the divine Helen and I, we're full-time fifth wheelers. We got rid of everything. We're living happily ever after in an RV park in a big-ass fifth wheel. Guess what? You come to an RV park with bad intentions, you're going to
leave with bad asses.
Oh, boy, because all them old parts out there, all them old retirees.
Oh, yeah. Heck yeah.
Moving right along, though. Tiffany Chestnut said they're idiots, every one of them.
Well, Tiffany, I'm not so sure I can agree with that 100% because they do have the right to protest.
The ones that are looting,
the ones that are doing the looting and the rioting, yes, sir.
But they're not a member of the original cause. These are the people that no initials mentioned.
Oh yeah.
Well, no, I'll mention his initials. George Soros. He's hiring people to protest. I'll pay you $200 a pop if you go out and just stir some shit up. Yeah. And I don't appreciate that.
No.
Somebody needs to thump him in his damn hearing aid or something.
That's it.
Half a brain cell.
Jerry Williamson said there are no longer protests, that these are no longer protests. They have morphed into a full-scale riot, which, if not stopped, will escalate and escalate until more than a few body bags are needed.
Absolutely. Maybe they can use some of those ice tray body bags that the former President Obama ordered. You know?
Yeah, there you go. Do you remember, or did you see the news story of the city in California, the little small town in California, that they heard that the rioters were coming that way?
Washington.
Was that Washington?
Yeah,
okay.
I sent that to you.
Yeah.
On purpose, yeah.
I'm telling you, every citizen in that town was armed to the gills.
This is a city that's like 17th. It's outside of Spokane, Washington. And I loved this. I just loved it. There was a dude walking around videoing all this crap. He said,
there was a lot of hardware there, boy.
He said, there were 3,000 people, 3,000 plus people actually patrolling the streets going, okay.
Yeah.
And he was giving them forewarning.
Yeah, you come here.
You're going to come to our community. And it is a gorgeous little town.
Yeah.
I mean, they got much respect from Fort Worth, Texas out of this cowboy.
I heard that.
You come in here, we're going to pepper your ass before you even walk in the door, you know. I loved it, man. I loved it. Sean Robert Allgood, our bud up in Austin area, said it's out of control. What happened to the real meaning of protesting?
Here again, another great statement there from our viewers.
Very powerful, Sean. Thanks for sending that in. And I think my feeling on this, people take advantage. They'll jump in on a skirt tail. So,
yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
They'll jump in and take advantage of somebody else's offering, or how you want to phrase it, you know.
I always thought it was the thing that I heard on the news that got me the most is that they were arresting people at the riots in Minnesota and some of the northern cities. They didn't even live in those cities.
Yeah. Well, there were a lot of out of
state
tags.
And especially like Minnesota. I mean, why come from outside of Minnesota to protest something that doesn't even affect you? That affects that community.
Because they're getting paid by a wingist to do so. Well, like George or Bill or whatever the hell name is, you know.
I love this name, Pappy. Dusty Friday said they need Jesus. How do these people take their children to a riot like this? They know they will be pepper sprayed, shot with rubber bullets, shot with real bullets, and much more. But they still take a child with them to act like a fool.
Yeah.
Then they want to scream, the cops pepper sprayed my 5-year-old.
Oh, my.
They need to face criminal charges, child endangerment, and their children need to be placed with someone who has some common sense.
And these people this person should have been shot with more than a rubber bullet. I mean, did you see the post? Poor girl, black girl, up there protesting peacefully, but she wound up with a rubber bullet that smacked her right dead center in the forehead. Now she wants to sue the state. What the cornbread hell?
Yeah.
That's not right.
Hey, I did find out something interesting.
Yeah?
In all those Target stores and everything, there's not a single pair of work boots taken.
That's right.
Do you know that?
Just saying.
I don't know. I'm just...
Well, they leave those behind.
A friend told me that.
Yeah. I heard that too. Oh, here's one from somebody that's very dear to my heart. Cassie Terry, my little daughter-in-law, said she feels like this dishonors the memory of George Floyd.
Mm-hmm.
If he was truly a good person, I don't see him smiling on these acts across our nation. I would be hurt at seeing all the destruction. People are destroying and already hurting America. Places of business were just recently allowed to open. Yeah, they were.
That's correct.
Some business owners were on the verge of shutdown due to COVID. Now their place of business is being broken into, set on fire, and looted. Does this benefit George?
Mm-mm.
Hell, no, it don't.
No.
Does this affect the officers who killed George? Yeah, it will. Yep. No, it is hurting the innocent business owners who were already treading water. I understand people want to be heard, but this is not the way to do it. Well said, Cass.
Yeah.
Well said.
You know, one thing, Dr. Martin Luther King was the king of, pardon the pun there, of protests, but they were all peaceful.
Yeah.
And even when the Southern police officers tried to take control of the protest, he ordered all of them not to turn violent.
Yeah.
And it was always peaceful. I always admired
that. Worked out for him.
Yeah.
He got assassinated off a balcony in a cheap hotel in Memphis or whatever.
But the lessons
that broke my heart. Yeah. He was a man of God. He was a man of love, and he was a man of peace. You know.
To me, he was a man of common sense. He had that uncanny knowledge.
Those 2 words again.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Ginger Lynch says it's not only about revenge for wrongfully murdering this man. It is being fueled by a political agenda that feels the need to never let a crisis go unused. There is more to this than we see in the liberal media.
That's called what? An agenda. And I believe that. But
Ain't it so?
I don't think it came from the peaceful protesters. Those are not rioters. Rioters are people that tear shit up and, throw a rock through you. I mean, did you see the post that
I did. I saw that. In Ventura, California now.
They've got little cages with locks on them. Who the hell owns a key to the lock? Yeah. And they're full of boulder size. I mean, they're full of rocks bigger than my damn head in Ventura, California. And they're sitting there waiting for what?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
They said this whole street is right off the main boulevard, full of glass, full of retail items, full of this, full of that.
Shopping area.
Who the hell is behind that? Who the hell is behind? I mean,
I'd like to find out and get me a brand new rope.
And even if it's not people of interest, it's people of disinterest. That's which just mixes it all up.
It sure does.
It's crazy.
It sure does.
Crazy. Billy Bryan says, "Shoot the first looter, and the animals will disperse." Yeah. But guess what?
He has a way of putting things, doesn't he?
Yeah. I visited him yesterday. He had a lot to say about all this crap.
Oh, I'll bet he did.
Oh, he did.
I'll bet he did.
I don't think he was allowed to talk too much when he's growing up, so he got a lot to say. Big
and he's Cajun, so that's going to come pouring out his mouth anyway.
We love you, Big Billy.
Let's see. Crawford Young said we need more Andy Taylors and less Barney Fives. I am presuming by that, Crawford, you were meaning more people with common sense.
Yeah, somebody knows what the hell's going on. Okay, Black Lives Matter, yes, 100%, but thugs make everyone suffer. Martin Luther King and Malcolm X would roll over in their graves if they saw all the looting and attacking normal people and businesses are going through. Attacking truckers trying to bring essential supplies is wrong as well. Word of warning to the looters and rioters: make me feel fear of my life, and you will not like the outcome. Where the hell did this come from?
This came from, and I do apologize, Jennifer Hoopengarner Thomas.
Oh, that person.
Yeah, I forgot to.
Well said, Jen.
Yeah,
well said.
And she will shoot you, and she's a pretty good shot.
Yeah,
from what I understand.
Let them knock on my door, and I'll show them how to draw a pattern in the forehead.
Ronnie Pierce said he is furious at the killing of George Floyd, a senseless act, but cities and states should have no mercy on those protesters who destroy, loot, and burn places.
Absolutely.
I put them in the same category as those police officers responsible for Mr. Floyd's death.
Well,
if you want to protest, fine. Just do it peacefully, and you will attract more attention.
Less is more.
Ronnie, I couldn't agree with you more. That's a very profound statement, brother.
It really is. Well said. We appreciate you sending that in.
But you know, I mean, the gentleman that you read just a few minutes ago, let me get his name, or Jennifer. I'm sorry, Jen. Black Lives Matter, yes, 100%.
Yeah.
But thugs make everyone suffer.
They do.
Now, when you take an agenda like Black Lives Matter and
opportunists,
and I'll be the first to say, Black lives do matter.
All lives matter.
All lives matter.
Yellow,
I don't
green,
care what
pink,
color you are.
Shit.
All lives matter.
All lives matter.
And they should be very precious to all of us. And that's the simple message that Dr. Martin Luther King kept preaching over and over
that
and
was his
over.
Platform. That's what he
about being equal. We're all equal in God's eyes anyway.
Yeah.
And like you said a while ago, prick our finger, you can't tell which drop of blood come from a...
That was such an awesome damn story.
You know.
That rings
Thanks,
true
Dad.
Every time, Yeah, your dad was a wise man.
Yes, he was.
Surprised my dad didn't figure that out before your dad. He must have been older than no pops. That's probably where he got the idea. But yeah, you are very correct, amigo. I mean, you drop a blood down. I mean, think about this, people.
Yeah.
You drip blood, squeeze a little drop of blood out down the line from all cultures, all colors, whatever. You ain't got a damn clue where it came from. So
yeah, you can't tell. You can't tell which finger it came out of.
You're either good, you're either bad.
Yeah.
You're either a piece of crap or you're a decent human being. It's there again. I mean,
you know,
and that opens up a whole new array.
Well, yeah.
How were you raised?
Yeah.
You know, and all this and all that. What country you come from? It doesn't matter what country you came from. How were you raised? What's your upbringing? What's your beliefs?
I will say this, Pappy, and I here again, I don't mean to offend anyone, but from what I have gathered, African American families teach their children about being suppressed by the white man and not getting an equal shake.
But they're also spiritual.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
But the white man has had to do a lot of changing.
Well, yeah.
And, you know, in our group that we hang out with, Pappy, I don't know of a single one that's a racist. And we're all old school.
You know, you're right.
You know, I've never heard anybody.
I know one is borderline, but I'm not going to mention who the big boy is. But, you know.
It's what you're taught at home, folks. So
How
teach
were you
your...
raised?
What's the old Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young song? Teach your children well.
That's
Bingo.
A badass song.
It is a badass song when you stop and listen to the words of this.
I love the lyrics to that song. Yeah.
It really is, and that's where it goes from.
You're right, my bro. I mean, where's the love? Where's the love? We supposedly live in the greatest nation in the world. We have set trends. We have done this. We've done that. Blah 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 blah. All this crap. And guess what? We're being laughed at.
I was just fixing to say that very thing.
And that's a shame.
China, Iran, all of these godforsaken countries are laughing at us.
Socialistic countries.
Yeah.
You know.
Now, I want everybody to stop and think about why people want to come to America, because they have an opportunity to succeed where they don't in the country that they originally came from.
Absolutely.
So I want you to let that sink in. This is a great country.
Why are you here? If your country's so damn great, why don't you just stay home and let us live in our own little folly lolly?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, what the hell?
Boy, you could just let's finish this up because it's going to get me on a Coke box, and I'm really going to get after it.
You're going to get this thing going. Get your preach on. All right. Stephanie Williams says, with all the recent protests popping up over the last few days, it has become very clear that the most of the protesters are not even from the cities they are helping to destroy.
Yeah.
You know what? Let me pause here. She's absolutely right. They're running ads for protesters, $200 a pop. Go out there and stir some stink up. We send you $200 now. Where's that coming from? I have not researched that deep, but I could imagine where it is. Burning down businesses that people work so hard for, breaking into stores and stealing everything that is not cemented to the ground just shows that these people aren't wanting to honor George Floyd. And I agree.
Yeah. I
agree wholeheartedly. I mean, there again, there's the opportunist that dives in on something to make a
That's correct.
point. They just want to act like criminals. I completely agree that we are long overdue for standing up for our rights against the government and the bad side of law enforcement in this country. However, we have always resorted to violence to show for it. My major question is what happens after all the protests and lockdowns?
Good question.
Damn good question.
Good question. Pamela Allgood said bravo for the brother of George Floyd going to the riots and asking everyone to calm down and quit destroying these cities. That shows me how it is supposed to be done with forgiveness in his heart. Bingo.
And I'm sure Mr. Floyd, God rest his soul, was a nice guy. I mean, we've all had our ups and downs. We've all made stupid choices and done silly things and all that. But I'm sure there's something more behind all this crap.
That's true.
I really am. I really am. I mean, and you'd be hard pressed to prove me different.
Yeah.
Where are we, bro?
You got the last one.
Okay, Bob D. Gilliland, said, sometimes in life we take things a little too far. In this case, extremely too far. How many times have we been here?
Yeah.
Remember the riots in the 60s?
Oh, yeah.
Remember Kent State? Remember all this stuff? I mean, where does it stop? Racism, it's all about racism and pro-choice, which has got all distorted and bent the hell out of shape. You know, I mean, where did it stop? Where's it going to stop? We need another civil war. What do we need? We need Martians to come and pluck us like a chicken and take us home, or what?
Yeah, that's
what
true.
The hell, you know?
Hey, we really do appreciate all of the comments you sent us in today. It's a subject that is really sensitive to a lot of Americans right now, and that's why we thought we'd talk about it. And thank you for your comments. So let's take a look, Pappy, at some of the viewer comments that we have received.
Okay.
Jay Brewer of Amarillo said the show on Secrets of Marriage was funny. He said he enjoyed us reading the viewer comments and to see what other people's opinion on a successful marriage was. He said to keep up the good work, and we're going to try.
Thank you, Jay Bird. That's what we have built this show. That's the premises we built the show on, was comments and opinion.
Okay.
That's the way it works. Paul Garrison commented on the show about ridding one thing in the world. He said it was simple. Nancy and her cronies. Fancy Nancy.
You should have got that in a little bit earlier, Paul. I'd like to put that in the show.
But it keeps rolling as long as she's where she's at.
Yeah. C. Young also commented on the program of ridding one thing in the world. He said it is recreational abortions because if you can't protect the innocent, nothing else matters.
By God.
There you go.
Shirley Mills commented on our show about women's right to choose. She simply said it was a very good show, and thanks.
Yeah. You're welcome, Shirley.
Tuning in, Shirley Bird.
Jason O'Bannon said on Twitter that our show about secrets of a successful marriage gave him some good ideas. The women's viewers' comments was especially good for him, and it let him know about the viewpoints from a woman's point of view.
By God.
Well, there you go. See, you ladies out there that sent in comments, somebody heard you. Somebody listened to you.
Well, Jason knows how a woman thinks. I mean, really? That'll be another show, by God.
Yes, sir.
You just sparked a thought here. Mary Stratford said she just watched a show getting chipped and vaccinated. And it reminded her that the world is going absolutely bonkers. That's putting it lightly. Mm-hmm. She said it'd be a cold day in hell before she gets one. Well, by God, little missy.
We're right there with you.
Me too.
It's been a fun show today, and we've got some good ones coming up. First of all, we want to tell you that if you want to send your comments and your concerns, your opinions, or subject matter that you'd like us to tackle.
Or even complaints.
That's right. Just send it in to us at our email address at Grandpa-N-Pappy at gmail.com.
By God, or you can hit us up directly on our website at Grandpa-N-Pappy.com. It'll take you straight to our website page, which is connected to YouTube, which is connected to Twitter, which is connected to what on the hell?
Didn't that used to be a song?
Yeah. If it ain't,
or something like that.
I'll send it.
Oh, there you go.
Thomas Gabriel, and we get rich.
Oh, there you go.
But yeah, and while you're there, hit the big red button. What color is that big red button?
It is red right there.
Big red.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Big red.
And I mean, leave a comment, leave a thumbs up, thumbs down, or let us flip your finger back. Whatever the hell, just do it because we read it all, we respect it all, and it gives us something to talk about, you know?
One quick thing before we close up here, Pappy. I want to tell everybody to start sending in their pictures of their fathers for our big Father's Day program that's coming up a little bit later in the month. But we want to give you plenty of time to get your dad's picture in and say a little something about him.
Please
the first 37 will be featured on this show. The first 37.
Why 37?
Because that's all our program will handle.
Because it ain't 38.
Because it ain't 38.
And it's not 36.
Coming up on our next program, we're going to be talking about censoring of public opinion on social media. Ooh. Boy, this guy's going to have an opinion. I can guarantee. I want to hear what yours is. Just send them to us. We'd love to have it.
And coming up in the near future, I had posted on our podcast page about Thomas Gabriel.
Yeah.
I mean, and if you don't know who he is, look on our podcast page and click the link below. You'll be amazed at who this boy sounds like.
Ooh, Lord, yeah. Get ready for it.
Sound like his old grandpappy, huh?
That is exactly right. I want to say thank you to Special K.
Yeah.
Good program again. Appreciate you.
Rocking and rolling, making us look good. The girl is. Yeah.
And, Pap, another good show, bro.
Yeah,
another good show. And we will see you guys on our next podcast this Friday. Until then, take it easy. God bless. Be safe.
We love you.
And we'll see you.
Take care of one another.
Bye-bye.